and few other hospitals, Kolebu, that they've created space for cases. Now, with the issue with the test kits, we understood that government was willing to bring about 150,000 test kits, and that they are even engaging with local manufacturers to see how best they can even manufacture these kits, which was a great move. As it stands now, we've done only 86,000. Kwame, this is not rocket science. If you want to get 500,000 test kits, you should be able to. Other countries have done it. What is it? I think last week I heard from Uncle Kwesi that, look, if you want to do this, take the sample of their kits, take it to our technicians, let them do it, let them open it up and see how it works. And within 2 weeks, tax them within 2 weeks, I want to have a sample of this as a test kit. They can do it, Kwame. It is really about the commitment of the government. If you really want to have a test kit, it is not rocket science. We can do it in this country.
Let's look at the measures that were put in place in the partial lockdown to ensure that the vulnerable in society were catered to. Now, the president said that they were going to be giving food, water, and things like that, you know, and at some point we're going to be giving free water and electricity and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, were we successful at that?
Oh, we failed woefully. Well, I mean, in fact, it's a great disappointment because I myself, I was one of the guys who volunteered to distribute the food. And I'm telling you, we failed to put measures in place. Sample distribution of food, we failed to do. You tell the people, we have unit committee members, we have assembly members who are in the community with the vulnerable, and they know the people best. And we decided not to use those channels. We decided to pack food in vans, accompany it with our party vans, and distribute food. It was so unfortunate. So, Kwame, even the measures we put in place, the measures couldn't work. You have a situation where even the education itself was missing. We've tried to educate the people, but education didn't sync well with the people. Just imagine, just yesterday, when the president lifted the ban, Kaswa, somebody was just passing, sent a video. You see jubilant crowd, happy and singing, mingling with each other, saying that, Nanado, in fact, so unfortunate. So this has shown that we failed in sending the signal to the people that, look, this is no joke. This is a serious business. We failed in putting up serious social intervention programs for the poor. So you hear them say, yeah, the food is not reaching us. Yes, because we politicize even food sharing in this country. How unfortunate can it be that even food sharing, and we politicize it, where you have MPs accompanying food just to show face that yes, they are the people distributing the food. It's unfortunate. This was meant for the vulnerable. It should have gone to them. In instances, they told us that they've given the food and the relief items to churches and other religious-based organizations. To our utmost surprise, some of these churches were also sharing the food based on, do you belong to my church? Do you come to Assemblies of God, or are you a Catholic? Then they give you the food or the relief items. So unfortunate. So in this short period, Kwame, I have seen that our social support system is not existent. As a country, we have nothing like that.
No, but they were able to provide us with the data. They said that they were going to be supplying 400,000 people with 2 million Ghana cedis.
Who gave them that data? In fact, if they wanted to do that, should have gone to the Ghana Statistical Service, the Ghana Living Survey. They did, every 2 or 3 years, they do a survey, the living standards. And it is there. You will know the areas in which people are most vulnerable in this country. We know the figures. So the 400,000 they are training about, if some of us sit behind and say, where from these figures? Because now you have only 2 places.
No, but they were telling us that they spent 2 million Ghana cedis on 400,000 Ghanaians.
You can contest that figure. Anyone can contest that figure. We say 400,000, right? And we are providing 1 hot meal. When we did, it was not like they are giving breakfast, lunch, and supper. It's 1 hot meal per day. 1 hot meal per day. And even that, if you are not lucky, or you are not strong enough, or vocal enough, or you can't struggle, you are not going to get some. So even if that figure is even true, we've thrown that money away. Because the initial purpose of injecting that money to feed the vulnerable, it didn't work. I can tell you. Most of the people who even had food had it from private citizens. People who volunteered that, look, I'm going to supply 1,000 pieces of dishes to people in this community. Those systems even worked better than what the government of Ghana put together. Because at a point in time, it felt that, look, we are going to do this distribution, and we wanted to show a political face to it. That is why we failed woefully in meeting the demands of the vulnerable. And now, before the vulnerable are crying out, we are forced to say that we have to allow them to go and work so that the economy will come back to its feet. It is a wrong assumption. So all those who are arguing that the economy was drowning, it can be. Economy can drown between only 3 weeks. if the economy was indeed resilient as they preached.
Yeah, of course.
It couldn't have gone
but also flowing from this very, very important analysis that you are espousing lies the argument about the fact that we went to seek some support from IMF. And IMF indeed listened to our cry and gave us $1 billion. Now, the $1 billion was specific. And they said that it was for fiscal and balance of payment support.
Precisely.
They anticipated that countries were going to lock down. Now, of course, Ghana was equally going to lock down.
Yeah.
Ghana was going to suffer a lot of economic crunch. And in that particular wake, there was a need for some form of support, which is why the $1 billion giving was unconditional.
Yeah, precisely.
So, if there was that support, why the rush?
Even to add to that, the president, even yesterday, mentioned that the committee of finance ministers, the finance minister of South Africa and that of Ghana, came together to draw up a proposal to agencies that African countries owe. And after the 9 months, they've given us 9 months for free, not to pay back interest. All this will add up to release the physical space we are talking about. Because for the next 9 months, if Ghana, the government of Ghana is owing any international agency, we'll be giving that 9 months free to ensure that we cater for our vulnerable, to ensure that we are able to tackle the pandemic head on. So another 9 months has been given to us as a relief. So to add up to the 1 billion, we now have serious physical space to deal with the issue. And 1 billion, now you are not going to pay back any interest for the next 9 months. So Kwame, which kind of allowance is better than this? That with this allowance, you cannot even afford to ensure that you put systems in place to tackle those who are vulnerable, put systems in place to ensure that you have a serious lockdown, and even extend it to other regions. Now, the tendency is that you are going to have people traveling from the epicenter in Accra, going to Bruno region. Even though Bruno has not recorded any case, what is going to happen in the next few weeks is that people who are carriers in Accra, who don't even know they have the disease, can travel to these regions and go and spread the thing. This is how